Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. Today I'm bringing you a video in which I'm going to talk to you about how I started my Etsy shop, what I did to start my Etsy shop. And first I need to explain what I'll sell on my Etsy shop because everything stems from that. So I make illustrations, colored pencils illustrations or watercolors, and then I scan them and sell cards, bookmarks, stickers, etc. The first thing that I needed to do was to scan my artwork. And at first I had scanned them with my normal old scanner printer because I had watched a number of videos where creators were saying that their scanner printer was good enough for their scanning and that you did not necessarily need to buy an expensive scanner. But I wasn't satisfied with the result I was getting with my printer scanner, so I did some research and decided to buy the Epson V200 scanner. It was the most recommended one for what I wanted to do, and I must say I'm very satisfied with it. It was very easy to install. The only problem I had was the cable that would link the scanner to my computer didn't work. When I tried it with the cable I was using for my printer, it worked. So maybe I should have reached out to the vendor, but I didn't think about it. What came out from my research was that if a scanner could scan at 48-bit, that would give a better result for color and quality. And my printer scanner was 24-bit maximum, and it also did not have a lot of DPI. So if what I'm talking about doesn't seem like, if you don't understand what it is about, I did not before I started doing the research, but that's what I was looking at, to have 48-bit and to be able to do like 1200 DPI. And that's usually what I use to scan my colored pencils drawing. When I had scanned my artwork, the next step I wanted to do was to order sticker from a manufacturer. And I was working on the size of the sticker I wanted to use. I had printed some mock-up on paper and I was looking at comparing it to other stickers I had and to this sticker I had ordered from Society6 when I thought I was going to sell on Society6, but I really was not happy about the quality for Society6, and you really get a pittance as a creator, so that's not what I wanted to do. I decided to order from the website Sticker App because a number of creators had recommended it, and it's a super easy process. You don't even need to have a white border around your design already, because when you upload your design into the website, they add a border and you can change the thickness of the border, you can add text, you can even design the back of your sticker. And I only ordered one design first to see if I would like the quality, and I was really happy with it. It came really quickly, it was nicely packaged, it wasn't damaged, and I think it was a fair price. Once I was satisfied with the scanning process and the stickers, I had to think about my cards and bookmarks. And at first I thought I could, if I could not scan with my old scanner printer, I could at least print with it. And I had looked for some paper. I wanted something that was quite thick for my cards. And I decided to try to use a 250 grams Clairefontaine paper. My printer would not accept the paper usually half the time, so that was a bit annoying, but I would have put up with it if the quality was okay. But even printing with the highest quality settings on the printer, the results were not great, and so I thought that I would send my card to be printed elsewhere. I decided to try the website HelloPrint, and I ordered the same bird you've just seen, which is a northern parula, a bird you can find in eastern Canada, eastern USA. And I received my order. It was quite late. I ordered 100 cards, and out of 100 cards, 22 were damaged. Eventually I was reimbursed for these damaged cards, but I didn't like the quality. I didn't like the service when I needed to be reimbursed. And I thought that if every time I print something, I have 20% of it that's damaged, it's such a waste because I can't do anything with it. I can't even sell it at a discount because it was just too damaged and not packaged well enough. So I made some research about printers and I opted for the Canon Pixma Pro V600, and you can see the difference on the left with what I got from my normal printer scanner and on the right with the new combo scanner printer. The quality is just day and night. It's so much more vibrant with the new scanning and the new printing, and I'm very happy about it. After I had solved my scanner and printer problem, I wanted to work on designing my other stickers, and I did the same process that I had done for my Northern Parula. So here you see me cutting out test prints for my long-eared owls and my magnolia warblers. I must confess, the magnolia warbler, the yellow bird, is one of my favorite drawing I've ever done. I just love how it turned out, and I also loved the owl. I love how angry she looks, and I'm so happy that I was able to draw an owl from a picture I had taken from an owl that I had seen in person. I haven't even explained why I'm drawing birds and why I decided to use these designs to do my products, but I just started to love birds a few years ago, and when I started drawing, this was my second drawing doing a bird, and I'm just fascinated by the colors, by the different shapes, and I love observing them. During the summer, I volunteer at a bird observatory in northern BC in Canada, and it's such a wonderful experience. You wouldn't think that waking up at 4 a.m. to go and start opening nets to get birds at 4:30 would be so great, but even if it's tiring, just having the privilege to see the sun rise over a pond, hear the loon cries, and to observe all those birds, to catch them, to band them, to study them, it's been such a wonderful experience, and I'd never thought I would be learning how to extract bird from nets, how to band them, how to recognize them, how to identify their sex, their age. It's just been, I didn't know any bird species before, and I've learned so much, it's crazy to me. Once I had the stickers sorted out, I wanted to work on my bookmarks, and I didn't really know how to print them to make sure that the front and the back would correspond perfectly. And one of the only thing that I don't like with my new printer is that it doesn't do front and back printing automatically. You have to feed the paper back to the printer, and it doesn't really work well because you always have a difference in millimeters. So you can see, I could see the line at the back of my bookmark, and I work out in the end that I shouldn't have these lines on the design and that I should space out my bookmarks. But even after many tries, I wasn't able to find a way to manually print back and front, so I designed my bookmarks in a different way, and you will see what they look like at the end of the video when I pack orders. When I was cutting up the bookmarks, I realized that I needed a guillotine because cutting up with a pair of scissors never gave me a perfectly straight result, and I would also need a guillotine for my cards. So I decided to buy this model, which is okay, but you need to push on the little plastic bit next to the blade, otherwise your paper shifts. I had been used to a guillotine I was using at school when I was a teacher that would have a guard that would automatically lower when you were using the blade, and that would keep the paper into place. And I wasn't able to find something like that at a reasonable price, so I opted out for this one. And I received my new sticker designs and I was very happy with them. I opted out for the matte finish for most of my stickers, except for one that I do not show in this video, but that's my Palestine Sunbird sticker. And I didn't think I would like the glossy finish that I use for the Sunbird sticker, but in the end I think it's nice and it kind of changes the way the color is perceived, and I think that in the future I might use only the glossy finish. And here it is. By that time I've opened my shop, my Etsy shop, and I'm packing out my orders. I had thought about how to package my orders before I opened my shop, and I had decided to use a little plastic bag that would fit my cards and my bookmarks and my stickers, and then closing those bags with a little bit of washi tape, and also adding a freebie to the orders, because one of the things I love when I order from small shops is that you get all these small attentions, you know that a real person has been handling your order and that they've put care into it. So on the right you can see the little card, that's my freebie, where I could write a little note to the customer. And in the end I changed this. I would write the comment on the little review card you can see on the left, so that the person could use the freebie, could pass it on, could use it. And the little review card, I don't remember where I had the idea of doing it, but it's been super useful. By that point, my Etsy shop has been opened for 5 months, and when I put the review card in with the order, so it's basically a thank you card and a card that asks the customer if they want to leave a review on Etsy and that it would be helpful to me and that they can share their order on social media. When I put that card in the order, I usually 90% of the time I get a review on Etsy, and if I don't, 90% of the time I do not get a review. And why is a review important? I mean, when you order yourself from Etsy or other websites, you look at reviews, right? And a shop that has no reviews, and especially a new shop that does not have a lot of sales, that's not good. So I'm really grateful to people who took the time to write a review, because it's been very helpful to me. So you can see what I did with my bookmarks now. I print the design on a separate piece of paper, and I print the backing on another piece of paper that's white, and then I assemble them. And I really like the result because it creates a thicker bookmark, it's more durable, and I really like the feel they have. The paper backing is 350 grams Clairefontaine paper, it's white, and my design is printed on kind of off-white paper that has little inclusions of linen and cotton, and it creates a real background for my birds. And I really like how the white backing creates a kind of frame for my bird and really make it pop. So I'm really happy about that. And at first I wasn't sure that the bookmarks would really appeal to people, but they're one of the things I sell the most of. Recently, 2 days ago, I did my first outdoor market, and that was the bookmarks I sold the most out of. So it's quite a surprise for me, but I'm quite happy I took the time to find out a design that would work for me, that would be of a nice quality. I really like using them personally too, so I think that's a sign that I did a product that I can be proud of. and here it is. If you have any questions about the process of opening an Etsy shop or all the preparations I didn't talk about all the administrative stuff. When I opened my shop, I was in France and I had to do some administrative stuff to pay taxes, etc. I didn't talk about that, but it's still a part of it. And now that I'm in Canada, I need to do the process all over again, but that wasn't the subject of the video. I hope this was still helpful to you because I watched a number of videos when I was starting out and they were super helpful to me, so I hope you find some interesting information for you in the video. And if you have any questions about the hardware I mentioned, the printer, the scanner, the paper, etc., don't hesitate to ask in the comment. And if you're curious about my shop, the link for it is in the description of all my videos. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!